So the guest of Mason Mount is about to haunt Stamford Bridge this evening, and Mason Mount is set to finally make his first appearance for Manchester United after a very long time back at the bridge. Now, today we have an interesting fixture involving Chelsea, who host Manchester United, and on previous occasions, Manchester United have had the bigger hand in these games, with Chelsea recording their last Premier League win against Manchester United back in 2017. That's quite a long time. But before we even begin our preview, I'd like you to introduce you to our new partner, and that is Betweener. Betweener is a very, very good site where you can actually make some money watching your most favorite sport, and that is football. So Betweener is quite interesting, and you can actually place, they give out very favorable odds, and they also give you a detailed statistics on previews and head-to-head encounters between teams. Please click in the link in the description area below to get a discount offer for this site. Now, Mauricio Pochettino will have to pick his best and most favorable lineup to be able to beat Manchester United, and we are going to do a tactical preview on which lineup best suits Pochettino for this. So we've gone with Petrovic in goal, and Petrovic, having made a mistake that actually cost Chelsea 2 points, is looking much, he has been quite well and cannot just lose his place because of that, since Sanchez is still rumored to be injured. The centre-back partnership is where I have a huge difference from what Pochettino picks, and I want Thiago Silva to come back so that he can organize that defense. Chelsea have been leaking a lot of balls recently, and Badiashile does not look quite fit enough or quite ready enough to pair with Disasi in that backline. In the fullback position, there are some doubts on whether Gusto is available, but videos have showcased him actually training with Chelsea, and if he's fit enough to start, he should actually play even if it is for the first 60 minutes so that he can contribute forward to Chelsea rather than bringing him on, while Marc Cucurella will play as he has played ahead of Ben Chilwell. In the midfield, we are expecting the double pivot of Enzo and Moises Caicedo, and Pochettino should be quite elaborate with the role of Enzo Fernandez, because this is the position where Bruno Fernandes usually likes to operate, and these two midfielders need to be ready and much comfortable to receive the ball in these positions. And in the line, because we're going with the 4-2-3-1, I'd like Conor Gallagher to be there. In the previous game, he was not available. He's quite integral for Chelsea, especially without the ball. Cole Palmer and Mudryk are currently on form and are much better to make a start in the team, since they are much effective to play in these kinds of positions. And leading the line, we have Nicholas Jackson. He also missed in the previous game against Manchester United. His physicality and his link-up play together with the runs he makes in behind will be quite important for Chelsea as they try to exploit Manchester United's defense line, which is actually plagued with a lot of injuries. And we are going to in-depthly analyze how this team will work. Before we start our analysis, I'd like you to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. So we're going to try and look at what Manchester United actually try to do and how Manchester United likes to create those transition phases that make them hard teams, especially by creating those mini transitions, especially when they're playing big teams. And the way Manchester United do this is by the use of their goalkeeper. So Andre Onana is quite crucial for Manchester United during build-up, and Man United use a unique build-up strategy by pushing one centre-back in midfield and having one full-back staying deep while the other playing as a centre-back. The main aim is to draw a lot of players forward, then try to create overloads, especially in the wide areas high up the pitch. This is aided by Onana's excellent passing accuracy, where he's able to play in the ball to a target man, or if a defender wins the ball, then Manchester United have a lot of players in close proximity to win the second balls and look to immediately hit the opponent in the transitions areas, where Manchester United's excellent forwards such as Rashford, Garnacho, and Rasmus Højlund can be able to attack that space in behind. The in-depth and intricate movement of this front three is what makes Manchester United deadly, especially when you give them space in behind. The passing accuracy of Andre Onana is also a great weapon for Manchester United. So, ways in which Chelsea can actually counter this system is creating a very solid press. And this press involves denying Onana any time and space on the ball. So if you allow Onana, do not press Onana, Onana will push forward with the ball and look to find one center back playing on one side and look to pass the ball onto the wide areas where they automatically have numerical advantages because they push a lot of players forward. The positions of Mainu and Casemiro in this game will be quite important, as they are the ones who link the defense to the attack. And if Chelsea's midfield is not well coordinated in their press, as I usually talk about, then Chelsea will be in for a very difficult night with Manchester United just playing through them and looking to create those transition moments running at Chelsea's backline. So Chelsea can either decide to press with the narrow 4-2-3-1 system. This system is quite elaborate in how Chelsea should press Manchester United, with Jackson being very keen to deny Onana time and space on the ball, forcing Onana to pick one side where he is able to play with the ball, denying any central progression with the ball by overloading the midfield. Then once this is done, Chelsea should ensure they cut the pass back to Onana and force Manchester United to play, especially down the left, where they are playing an unusual player in an unusual position, that is Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who's playing as a left back, where Chelsea can try to use excellent pressing and energetic pressing to win balls off Wan-Bissaka and look to immediately progress and attack Manchester United. Now, in much settled possession, what we normally see with Manchester United, if they have Harry Maguire, is that Maguire likes to carry the ball forward and try to pull players towards him so that he can release balls to his fullbacks and his wingers in the wide areas, where Manchester United can try to exploit the opponents. Now, if Manchester United decide to build with two center backs, then Chelsea can either opt to try to push both their two midfielders to press them while they're using their cover shadows to cover the middle of the pack. Then they can circulate the ball out wide, where they can effectively engage in a touchline press and look to try and win the ball off the wide players. The main aim is to deny key players such as Bruno Fernandes and Mainu and Casemiro time on the ball, especially Bruno Fernandes, who likes to receive the ball and look to pick up players high up the pitch. Failure to do that can find Bruno Fernandes receiving the ball in these isolated areas in midfield and look to immediately hit Chelsea by playing long balls over to the likes of Marcus Rashford, Garnacho and Rasmus Højlund. Another thing that Chelsea should also be considerate about is they should not be worried when Manchester United fullbacks have balls out wide, because both of them are not quite great in crossing, but rather should be much more concerned, especially to track the runs of Marcus Rashford, who has been a thorn in the flesh for Chelsea in previous encounters, and those are the key areas that Chelsea need to win. So what should Chelsea do when they have the ball, when Chelsea have possession? That is what we are trying to look at in our next phase of our analysis. Based on the lineup that Mauricio Pochettino has picked, Chelsea should be quite incredible to dominate the ball, especially during build-up, because Manchester United will be quite away. They will likely look to try and just hit Chelsea in transitions, because they have identified that Chelsea is not quite great defending transitions. So if and when Manchester United decide to press aggressively high up the pitch, then Chelsea in this kind of position should try to use their integrate 1-2 touch passes, especially to play the balls towards the fullbacks, and have their wingers, especially Mykhailo Mudryk and Nicolas Jackson, to look to try and make runs behind Manchester United's slow back line. But because Manchester United are playing with center backs who are not quite fast, they will opt not to press aggressively high, since they are also not at home. And this kind of system can enable the likes of Thiago Silva to thrive if Manchester United play high, because he has accurate long balls to play players in behind and look to try to exploit Manchester United. Now, the other phase that Chelsea need to focus on is their in possession phase, when they are much settled in possession. And how they arrange themselves is going to determine how they are able to beat Manchester United and deny Manchester United those transition powers that Manchester United try to employ. So if Pochettino wants Enzo to push forward, then Conor Gallagher should be comfortable dropping deep alongside Caicedo to give Caicedo that steal. With Malo Gusto looking to advance forward, he can decide to tuck in Marc Cucurella so that they can cover the horizontal space between themselves, especially knowing that the runs of Marcus Rashford and Garnacho can be quite devastating when you're looking at Manchester United from a counter-attacking situation. Also, when players are having the ball out wide, they should not be afraid to play quick 1-2 passes, especially with the midfielders, to try and suffocate Manchester United back. Why is this? Because Garnacho and Rashford majority of the time will not be dropping deep to try and help their fullbacks. Therefore, Chelsea should try to exploit Manchester United in this position. So this game is going to be quite interesting, pitting two managers who are under threat. Chelsea could have already been in 7th place if they actually managed to win their game against Burnley, but they need to win this game more than Manchester United need to win it. And the questions will be asked about Maurizio Pochettino if he fails to win this game, further solidifying the notion that Maurizio Pochettino is not the right man for the Chelsea job. I've done in-depth analysis about this. Check my timeline, and if you've enjoyed this video, do not forget to like, share and subscribe, and thanks for watching.